So I'm experiencing my first McDonald's food in years. I did the 2 for $2. Yeah, so they're $1 a piece. It's a sausage biscuit. And I have no idea why this person is pulled up beside me. But they aren't supposed to be there.
You watch pigs?
In Colorado.
Okay.
I thought my license plates might give that away.
I wasn't paying attention. Then I saw your sign.
No, I get stopped at gas stations. People ask me, how do you... And I'm like, you'd be surprised. Every time I pull up for gas, I pretty much have at least one person ask me.
Yeah. I was
Ma'am.
doing something like that around here. Really do. Well, I hope I didn't bother you.
No. I'm actually videotaping. I just left Georgia to go back to Colorado, and my first McDonald's food in probably 6 years.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm that hungry and I'm broke.
Yes, ma'am. You have a nice day.
You too. Okay, and now I know why he wanted my attention. So anyway, I got the biscuit and the muffin. Biscuit for breakfast, muffin for lunch. I wish I'd asked for jelly. Because it's a good biscuit. A little over salty, but I get it. That's the fast food. That's how they hook you. They get the salt addicts. And if there was gravy, I'd be in heaven. Based on what else I can get for $1 these days. Except for, the dryness of a dry biscuit. Thank goodness the sausage is greasy. At least it gives a little slip to it before it slides down my throat. Ah! And I've decided to give up on coffee, and I'm starting in on chamomile tea to keep my stress levels down. Oh, and a perfect example of why I hate technology, in case that whole thing got missed. That's what I was saying, only I used a bad word. A very ungrandmotherly word. But for the third time now, an hour ago, GPS said I was 11 hours out from Colorado, from my destination. I stopped at McDonald's at the drive-thru to get breakfast and lunch, sausage biscuit, and a sausage muffin for lunch. And now my GPS is telling me I'm 12 hours out. I have no idea how that happened. None whatsoever. Okay, farmsteads as far as the eye can see. And I just drove all the way to Georgia to get to have the experience firsthand. And I don't care how many shows they make. I'm happy with buying my property and building my little home as I can afford to, versus ending up story about, I don't think people realize, off-grid pretty much means your technology is not going to be what it was either. So, except for solar technology, off-grid living is not for everyone that doesn't have a PayPal account and can do an Etsy store and be an influencer so that companies place their ads on your YouTube videos, because it's not going to happen by any other conventional ways. You buy a farm, you better be prepared to actually be a farmer. My morning epiphany has been peer pressure begins at home from birth. Peer pressure, by definition, is the family dynamic. Your people, your kin, your blood. Them once knows you for who you is and likes you anyway. Or those who insist that you be exactly what they have decided is the best way for you to be. Love those parents. They're great, producing such fine, upstanding, stable children. Anyway, that's kind of, peer pressure. You hear about it once you get into school, but you never realize family started that stuff. On a lonely stretch of highway east of Colorado, listening to my personal chosen collection of all my favorite brulees that I could fit on a single CD, with a little arbor bird splattered in just for dramatic effect.